What's up, Steelers fans? What's up, Northerners? This is Chris with my Week 8 review of the Brownies coming to Pittsburgh and getting beat up by the Steelers 33-18. Actually, not even that close, as the Browns scored one against Steely McBean there with about 7 seconds left in the game. It was a little uglier than that score is going to lead you to believe. Interesting backdrop on this game before I get started. The two most penalized teams were being officiated by the same crew that recently replaced Hugo Cruz after a controversial move to fire him mid-season by the NFL. That kind of played exactly how I thought it would. Early on, the flags flew, the spots were spotty. I did not love the officiating in this game. I didn't think there was anything that was totally blown. However, I just hate to see all the ticky-tack penalties, especially early on in the game. It just, to me, really impacts the flow of the game. I would much rather you let the guys play a little bit. If it's something egregious, of course, call it. But so many of these questionable calls where even as you see the replay, you're trying to figure out where did it actually happen. I'm just tired of seeing those. So last week, before this game happened, in my preview, I called for 4 sacks in this game by the Steelers defense, and I called for a 38-17 Steelers win. I wasn't too far off on the score, 33-18, but what I was kind of way off on were the sacks that the Steelers would have, off by half. I called for 4, we only had 2 today, but despite that, we were in their backfield all day. I just felt like Bud Dupree was in the offense's huddle almost every play and knew exactly what the snap was going to be. He was all over the Browns today. Some other things I liked that I saw, we had what I think is our most competitive second half so far. We won the second half battle 19-12. We've had games this season where we got blanked in the second half. So good to see the Steelers coming out after halftime, having some fight today. One other guy I mentioned on the defensive side of the ball, Anthony Chickillo, who, again, this season, just like last season, just quietly having a stellar season in that defense and really solidifying that, at least the running defense up the middle there. He also gets after the quarterback a lot. Saw him getting after the quarterback today. Again, we didn't have all the sacks I thought we would, but obviously there was an impact by he and Bud Dupree getting in Baker Mayfield's face as much as they did, as often as they did, as quickly as they did today. The Browns defense really didn't help out. They didn't make the big plays today. I had to check to see if Myles Garrett even played. I just saw he had 1 tackle today. I'm not sure if anything happened health-wise with him that I missed, but really happy as a Steelers fan to see his lack of production today, but surprised at that lack of production for him after having such a solid game against us the first game of the season. And then the team together only had 1 sack against the Steelers. Now, the Steelers haven't been giving up very many sacks in the past couple weeks. I think we went 2 games without a single sack. But again, today, for the Browns to have got the W, they would have had to have an amazing game on defense, would have had to have a few sacks of their own. Having 1 just wasn't going to do it for them. Our offense today, amazing game, racked up, I should say, over 180 yards more than the Browns offense did, and almost 150 yards of that came rushing from James Conner. Another 2-touchdown day, just did whatever he wanted to do, and really embarrassed Nick Chubb. He more than doubled Chubb's production. And what happened today offensively was just our offensive line going there and winning another game for us, despite not having starter Marcus Gilbert. It's like, to me, seeing them play like this and watching this brand of Steelers football really is reminiscent of me watching Denver back in the Mike Shanahan days, when every running back they had that they plugged in was a star automatically. That just the game plan, the blocking, the way that they tenaciously get after you at the line of scrimmage. That's what I'm seeing from the Steelers, as we had 5.4 per carry today against 3.5 for the Browns. Again, that's not how you're going to win games. A couple guys I'll shout out on the offense. Vance McDonald, who really has separated himself from that tight end by committee pool that we started to have last season, early on this season. He's kind of rising to the top as a good cream. And David DeCastro just doing what he does every day. All he does is come out, blocks people every game. I mean, I've rarely seen him have a bad one, but those pulls today that I've seen from him, if you watch the replay of the games, when you see, Connor racking up these yards, watch the Castro pulling, watch the tackles pulling, and you'll understand how Connor racked up 150 against the Browns again, despite they knew it was coming this time after that first game. And I'm not too surprised. What I'm seeing from the Browns this season, again, they are improving. They do have 2 wins this season. But in those 2 wins, they only had 33 combined points. And on defense, they've only given up less than 20 twice. One of those was still a loss. So for the Brownies, you guys are really heading in the right direction. Early on in this game, it was scary as you took that 6-0 lead. But again, not being able to cash on those opportunities, having to take the 3 points both times and giving us the opportunity to come down, score 1 touchdown, take the lead before half, just not going to win games for you. So this draft, I think it's time to go after an offensive line, have a complete team. For the Steelers, as we're moving on, no significant injuries today. I don't see really too much change with this team going forward. Just waiting to see what is going to happen in this saga with Bell. Is he going to report in the next 2 weeks? I believe it's week 10. He's got to report to the camp live in order to participate in this season. So we'll see what happens there. But hey, I'm more than happy to rock with Connor. He's had an amazing season so far, despite all the distractions he's had to go through. People, even within the Steelers nation, saying, they wish Bell were there. And I think really minimizing what Connor has done, how he's committed to this team, and how hard he's worked in these past couple years he's been wearing Steelers jerseys. So shout out to him as well. I'm going to wrap up with that. AFC Northerners, leave you with my sign-off. Fuck the Bengals.